Hi, it's Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton. Today we are making pickling spice. Now we're going to make dill and we're going to make sweet. This video is about the sweet pickling spice, okay? And it's absolutely beautiful. And there's enough here to make at least 4 to 5 batches of pickles, if not more, okay? So, this will last you a good season or so. Be sure and store this in a sealed, dark, cool environment, and it'll last you a couple years. All right, let's get started. I told you the story when I was making my mom's apple butter. I told you the story about what happened to me at the hospital the other day in my SVT. And the nutmeg and the mace, which is the casing of nutmeg, which is in pickling spice, that is what I'm having a reaction to. So just in case, I'm going to put this mask on. And you don't want to make more of this than what you're going to be using in a canning season, okay? It's better to make this, just leave them as they are and leave them fresh. And sometimes I'll even toast mine. I'll get them all made up and I'll toast it right before I use it. And that really helps break the essence oils out of a lot of these seeds and things. Now that's not necessary in the powders, but when you get the whole seeds like allspice and things like that, and the peppercorns and things, you'll want to toast it first, right before you use it. Not before you store it and put it in the jar for all season or for a year or two, but you'll toast it right before you use it and put it in the pickles. It doesn't give it a burnt flavor at all, but it helps release the oils and everything that are in the spices, okay? And that are in your herbs, like the bay leaves and things. All right? So let's go ahead and let's get started on making our own pickling spice. We're going to start by making the spice that makes our sweet pickles. All right? I'm going to put in a tablespoon of cinnamon. There you go. There's a tablespoon of cinnamon. And you can double or triple this. Like I said, I've already made a bunch of sweet pickles this year. And because it had the mace in it, I had to give them all away. But I still have a lot of pickles coming on here and at my son's farm. So we're just going to keep going with it. So there's a tablespoon of cinnamon. And you can either use cracked cardamom or you can use cardamom powder. I didn't want to buy, they didn't have any, they only had the powder on hand at the store. So I'm going to use a tablespoon of the cardamom, the ground cardamom. So we got a tablespoon of cinnamon and a tablespoon of ground cardamom. And then we're just going to set these aside because we've used them. I'm going to put in, and I got to read my ingredients and everything that's got mixed, like garam masala. You want to see what's in here first. Coriander, black pepper, cumin, cardamom, and cinnamon. So it's about basically the same thing, but it's got some things in it that I didn't have, like the coriander. So I'm going to do a tablespoon of the garam masala. Now the garam masala from Berry Farms Food, I like the best. Now I'm going to do celery salt next. And this is a brand new, I used up all my celery salt for my dill pickles and my sweet pickles, so get that foil top off. Now I'm going to do about 3/4 of a tablespoon of the celery salt. And remember, you can use the celery seed. If you do celery seed, do the whole tablespoon. But celery salt, remember, it's salt. It's just celery seasoned salt. So that means we've already got salt in here. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do just a sprinkle of the canning salt. Just a sprinkle. Then next I'm going to do the ground ginger. And we're going to do about a 1/2 tablespoon. Oops. We're going to do about a 1/2 tablespoon of the ground ginger. And then we have ground turmeric. I'm going to do a tablespoon of the ground turmeric. Turmeric's really, really good for you. I'm going to do a tablespoon of the mustard seed, or about a 1/2 teaspoon of the mustard powder versus a whole tablespoon of the mustard seed. Might do a little bit more than that. We'll see. I'll be tasting this. We'll be seeing what it tastes like. All right, now we have the allspice. Brush it up a little bit in your mortar and pestle like I'm getting ready to do the allspice. And And I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of the allspice here. Things. And I'm just going to I'll put them in here. Hear that? Let's get a little closer. Maybe you can hear it better. And I'm pre-cracking the allspice. It's going to release those oils and release those flavors. And again, I would also toast these. Oh, this smells really good. It does have a nutmeg scent to it, but it is not from the nutmeg tree or plant. So, so this is my way of getting the flavor of nutmeg with something that I'm hopefully haven't been allergic to. So I'm just going to kind of lightly break these open and crack them open. All right, there we go. That smells good. All right, so here's our allspice. There we go. Now here, that smells so good. Now here, I have some new fresh bay leaves. I wanted to use new bay leaves here. One, part of one, 2. There you go. That's plenty right there. I think that'll be plenty, and here's another little small one. Right, and that's bay leaves. And you can take and you can just break these up like this. These are pretty fresh. They smell good. Use the mortar and pestle and see if I can't break them up with that. No, that ain't gonna work. They're too fresh still. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of fold them, and then start tearing into here like this. There we go, that works. Just leave them big. Let's say about a tablespoon of this per every 5 to 6 pints of pickles. Would be plenty. And we're just gonna break that in there. Boy, you can really smell that. That smells so good. Now bay leaves, I'm gonna make my pickle spices. I'm gonna make it fresh during pickling season. And then I'll store some, you know, if I have any extra, of course I'll store that. But other than that, you know, the whole idea is to keep it fresh, right? Keep it fresh, keep it ready to go. Use my whisk. I'm gonna whisk this up. Smells great, it looks great. I think it could use a little bit more ground clove. My whole cloves in here. You can definitely add some whole cloves to this. There you go. Oh yeah, I'm glad I got the mask on because I'm smelling it through my mask. All right, let's get this bottled up. So we'll come in on this where you can see it a little better. Give it a nice stir to incorporate all the seasonings. And like I said, when you make enough brine for 5 or 6 pints of pickles, that's one recipe of brine, then you would just grab a tablespoon of this and add this to the brine. Or if you wanted to each jar of pickles, you would add like a heaping quarter of a teaspoon per jar. That's all it would take. All right? And this is plenty for me for what I have left to do this year, or I'd do a double batch, but I think that's plenty. And like I said, these allspice here, this has a nutmeg flavor to it, but I shouldn't be allergic to that. I haven't been in the past. So, so now I can get my nutmeg scented and flavoring in there without actually using mace or nutmeg. Yes, SVT patients, supraventricular tachycardia patients out there, keep in mind, wear a mask when you're working with spices. Stay away from stimulating, heart stimulating spices that almost act like caffeine, which is nutmeg and mace. And just have a better, better experience. But make your own spices. This way you know what's going in them, all right? And then we got some awesome labels here, canning label stickers. And I'll open up some of those. We're just going to pour this down inside of a clean canning jar or some sort of this is just a half pint jar. Keep your mask on. All right, and we got almost a half pint. Put on your lid. And we're going to store this in a cool, dry, dark place, okay? I might have got something different for us. There you go. There we go. Now, I like the dissolvable labels, but since the one on there wasn't, I figured that can still look pretty nice here. Doing something fun with it, all right? And I'm not going to date this because this can be good for up to a year or two, so I'm not going to date it. And I'll have it gone by then. There you go. It's for sweet pickling spice. See? We'll let that dry. And there you have it, sweet pickling spice. All right. And like I said, this is adjustable. Put in there and flavor it the way you like it. And here you have it, sweet pickling spice. Stay tuned because now we're going to do dill pickling spice. All right. And these are my custom ingredients. You can adjust these ingredients however you like. Be sure and hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell next to the subscribe button. That way you get our most recent videos. All right. We love you. You're our little angels. Stay with us here on our little homestead and let's learn these things together. Blessings.